So we've been on the road living full-time van life as a family for about 4 weeks now. It's 4 weeks. And we get asked, or at least I get asked often, how do we make this work? Because we continuously post videos and bring updates and still manage to pull off this family vacation. And as you can see here, Michelle, this is a daily morning occurrence of coffee and commenting. She loves to reply to comments, and I do not. I do not. So don't take it personal. But that's just not. I'm focused on continuously bringing more content, more news, more updates, and building out the platforms that everybody's asking me about for building a small business and making money and generating side hustle, passive income, and elevating their financial situations and getting out of, paycheck to paycheck, diminishing middle class, near or below poverty levels. So don't take it personal. I'm not ignoring you guys. I have to focus my energy and my efforts on, bringing you more of what you need. Like, I read the comments, I hear you, and I'm sure you guys can tell, because I'm sure you can tell from the content that I produce, I am listening. So I appreciate the input and keep it going. I will bring you guys more, but I wanted to bring you an update on how does this actually work. And honestly, this is the star of the show here. No, not you.
I thought you were opening it. I was like, oh, thanks.
Coffee. No, I'm just playing.
This is the star of the show.
That's the star of her show. Gotta have that coffee.
Yes.
She's actually doing a REI instant coffee review, so y'all gonna want to check that out. Shocked to find out what that's like. But the Dell XPS 15 9520 is actually the star of my show, as it allows me to work remotely and effectively and efficiently. This one is the 15-inch 9520, and I opted for the OLED screen, and I'm very happy that I did. Now, granted, we have like an overcast situation right now, so it looks pretty good in direct sunlight. Not my favorite, but in overcast or when working inside the van, this is the OLED screen makes a huge difference. Now, this one in particular has the 12th gen Intel i9 processor, and it has 32 gigs of RAM, and it's running Windows 11 Home. I had to go with Windows 11. That's the only way they preloaded it. But so far, I haven't had any issues with Windows 11. And it has 32 gigs of RAM, and it's got a 1 terabyte hard drive. Now, I could have spent a little bit more, but there's a few reasons why I chose to go with this particular configuration instead of a more expensive version. And the main one's because this particular configuration is pretty standard on their website, on Dell's website, which is where I ordered it directly. And you can get it pretty quickly. And at the time we were preparing to take this trip, I didn't want to risk not getting this laptop before we left. And before I go any further, previous laptop was actually a Microsoft Surface that it would get me by from day to day, but it wasn't up to the task on some of the videos that I work on and some of the content that I produce. And like I said, I have multiple businesses and side hustles, so this is my channel, but I work on other channels, so oftentimes I need the ability for some heavy lifting, 4K, multiple tracks, some serious editing. So the Microsoft Surface wasn't going to cut it. I had a MacBook Air, specifically MacBook Air for live streaming, because there's an application on there called Ecamm that only works on Mac OS X. It doesn't work on PC or Intel-based computers or PC computers. because the Mac that I have is actually not Intel based. It's Apple's silicon chip, the M1, which is a great computer, but it still wasn't really up to the task. I love typing on it. Battery life is great, super light, portable. Screen's a little small, but I'm a PC person, no doubt. Android phone, like there's no deviation there. I couldn't wrap my head around Apple's operating system for day to day, and switch back and forth between this Surface and my desktop. I got a desktop too, and I would say that this is on par. Since I've received this, granted I've been on the road, but since I received this and I had it and the ability to use my desktop at the same time, I've always chosen to use the Dell XPS 15, the 9520. But again, I wanted to make sure I had it in time, and I was able to get this in like 2 or 3 days after ordering it. So despite all the supply chain issues and troubles that we're seeing all around the world, Dell was actually pretty good. Now, granted, I was supposed to get it in 24 hours. And I didn't get it for 48 hours. But I'm not going to like split hairs on that one. Still got it pretty quick. Also was able to pick up the accidental protection, which covers this against anything. As long as I have it. Like if I lose it, I'm pretty much out of luck. But if I break it or spill something on it, or whatever happens, accidental protection is covered for like 3 or 4 years. So that's pretty cool. Now, the reason why I went this route is it was less expensive and I was able to get it faster. But also, for the most part, I'm running these Samsung external hard drives, and this one actually happens to be a T7. I have some T5s, but speaking of supply chain issues, I think the T5s are pretty much all wiped out. So my only option moving forward was, to stick with this, which I probably got like 50 of these things. I think this one's a 1 terabyte. Yeah, 1 terabyte. And to stick with the Samsung model, I had to move up to a T7. No problem there. The T7s are faster than the T5. So if you're using externals with USB-C, which it has 2 options, USB-C or USB-A. This laptop only has USB-C ports, but it does come with, and it has a full-size SD card reader and 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. But it does come with this little adapter that'll let you plug it into a USB-C, run a USB-A, or an HDMI cable too. But these are Thunderbolt ports. So these 2 Thunderbolt ports in conjunction with the T7 allows for the fastest transfer possible. So I'm not upset about that. If you guys are into that, you know what I mean. It makes sense. So I was able to get it quickly, save a little bit of money. My hard drive space is extended because I'm using externals, so I don't need more than 1 terabyte inside the laptop. Every now and then I'll do something and I'll just jump on here, knock it out, get it done. I have plenty of space, no issues. And then I'll just transfer it to an external and keep the space on here free. But by upping the hard drive size, not only did it increase the price, but it also increases the lead time, because I think that they have to do is they take these shelf models and then they have to take them apart and upgrade instead of building them from scratch. I think that's what they have to do. So externals to the rescue. Also, the memory, 32 gigs of RAM. Now, based on other YouTubers' reviews of the Dell XPS 15 9520, I felt pretty confident that 32 gigs of RAM was going to be sufficient for what I was trying to do. And I would say it is. But I also knew and know that if I need more, I can add more. So I would just add another 32 gigs to get it to 64 gigs. And I probably would never have to upgrade it beyond that for a few years. And ordering this with 64 gigs of RAM for memory would have increased the price and the lead time to over a month instead of getting it in 24 to 48 hours. And to swap the memory on this is pretty simple, pretty easy. So, and the cost of upgrading the memory would have been cheaper than getting it directly from Dell. So it works out just fine. And we may get into a full van life tour. Right now you can see that We're actually about to head out, but this is what it kind of looks like in the morning. And the windows are covered for privacy, but also to maintain temperatures inside and out. And this is actually reflective, so if it's super hot, it'll reflect the heat and try to keep the temps down. But it is a little bit of a mess, so no tour today. And you got Michelle here working away diligently. But so far so great with the Dell XPS 15 9520 and using it for a mobile workstation on the road, full-time van life, and being able to knock out some pretty decent projects. Battery life is great. The screen is great. The keyboard, I'm getting used to it. It's not my favorite, but I also don't hate it. My Microsoft Surface Pro, I really liked its feel and key spacing, but I didn't like the fact that it wasn't actually a laptop. It was a tablet with a keypad, and I like the fact that this is a laptop and the screen is hinged, whereas with the Surface it's not, so you can never pick it up like that with one hand. And the MacBook type keypad is great, but like I said, I'm not a Mac person. So my kid is, or at least she thinks she is. She's got the MacBook. I'm letting her use it on this trip, and she's actually been able to play Roblox and Bloxburg, so she's pretty excited about that on there. But she's all about the Mac life and an iPhone, but she'll come around. She's smart. But but the key travel is good, the screen's good, the battery life is really good, and you know, I haven't had any real complaints out of this machine so far. And I tried to convince my brother to get one. I don't know if he picked one up yet, but he was running some sort of HP Envy, and his biggest concern was the heat and the fan noise. Now granted, right now it's pretty much idle, so you're not going to hear fans running or have any heat issues. But when I am really going to work, it's really, the fans aren't that loud and the heat isn't crazy. So I know a lot of people concerned about that. I think if you go with the 17-inch model, it has even better cooling, but there are some features that aren't available on the 17-inch that are only available on the 15, and I do think the 15-inch is the sweet spot. So for anybody who was interested and those who asked, and here's your answer. This is pretty much how it works on the road. I've got some other equipment with me, other cameras, other tripods, other gimbals, microphones, which you guys have probably seen in pretty much all my videos. I didn't use it on this one. And gimbals, tripods, cameras, lenses, my phone, which I'm on my phone right now, and a few other things. I can't remember exactly, but this guy right here is, if I can figure out how to point to it, the Dell XPS 15 9520 is without a doubt my most valuable tool when on the road, and helping me bring you guys more and more information and content as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So if you guys got any questions and want to know more about it, or editing in general, content creation, YouTube, whatever, contact info's in the description. Click the links, join the group, join the newsletter, and we can discuss these things a little bit more in depth. I'll get back to what I normally post after this video, but I did want to answer that question and reply to comments at the same time, which is twofold here. And like I said, a lot of the emails I get, I may not necessarily respond directly in email. I may make a video to answer the questions in the email so everybody can benefit from the question and the answer. So let me know what you guys think about working on the road, van life. If you guys are into tech, computers, laptops, cameras, equipment, YouTube in general, content creation, social media, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, hit me up. But either way, thanks for watching. See you guys soon. Bye.